Okay, so this here is a Jailing Easy Rider. It's basically a copy of a Honda Camino from the 1970s. It's got nothing to do with the MVT Easy Rider. It's a bit like my Pekin Bantam here. It's got nothing to do with the BSA Bantam. One was from the UK, and the one was from the same country this bike was built in. Okay, just to give you an idea how much of a copy of Camino this is. This one's actually been fitted with a Camino belt drive cover. See, it says Honda across there. Although the one on the other side is the original Jailing one. And even though it's a kickstart engine on this bike, it's still got the hole on the other side for the pedal assembly. It's got foot pegs again because it doesn't need pedals. It's got CD ignition as well, which is a bit of a bonus. So you have to faff around with points like I had to do on that Honda Camino Sport. Although the carburetor again is still a nightmare to get to, and this has got the same issue. I've got to clean the main jet on it. Although I don't particularly want to take the frame off the drive chain assembly, I had to do on the Camino Sport. I'll try and take the exhaust off and get the float ball from underneath and drop the jet out that way. Okay, got the belt cover off, and as you can see, it's very similar to the Honda Camino Sport. I'm pretty sure it's full CVT like the Sport is. Obviously variable pulley on the front. This one, I think the spring is inside here. One interesting thing to note is the Jailing hasn't got pedals on it, but it's still got the lever on the back to disengage the pedal drive like the Camino's got. So on this, you could essentially bump start it going down a hill by using the momentum of the wheel to turn the engine over. If you disengage it though, you essentially got free wheel, which on a Camino you have pedals and you could use it like a bicycle. This has no pedals, so you wouldn't go anywhere. Let's go and take a look at that kickstart mechanism. Right, this is bolted over the magneto flywheel. So to get this cover off, I've got to take this off. There you go, one self-contained kickstart assembly. Kind of a ratchet and pull mechanism that engages with this basket bolted to the end of the flywheel. I wonder if you can retrofit this onto a Camino because it's got the same kind of mounting points. That can come off now. Yeah, this is where the chain would be on a Camino, and the pedals would be through this shaft here. Right, get that exhaust off. Well, I was hoping that you could get to the float ball from the other side. You can't because that metal there, which is welded to the swing arm, is blocking access. So I'm going to have to drop the engine out of the frame. Bugger. Right, I got the wiring loom disconnected, I got the throttle cable disconnected, and I got the rear brake cable disconnected. This is exactly the same as what I did on the Camino, so if you use this as a reference for doing a Camino frame off drivetrain removal, it's pretty much the same thing. The 17mm there, and it's just the two 17s on the rear shocks to remove. This is the tricky bit. You then got to take out this long bolt here. My Bantam is telling me I've forgotten to remove the earth bolt. Everyone's a critic. Also helps if you remove the fuel pipe as well. Please excuse me while I go and tell my Bantam to shut the cluck up. One of the chickens, they have about 20 words in their language. Yeah, that wasn't particularly nice. They actually got a different call where they've got a predator coming from the air or from the ground. I think she's a little bit annoyed that the birds in the garden are stealing her food. Well, a little bit of dirt in the float bowl. There's the main jet there. Wasn't blocked though. It's been usual for a two-stroke carb. It's got a butterfly for the throttle, not a slide. That's the choke lever there. Pretty much just shuts it off. So yeah, it's actually more like a 4-stroke carb than a 2-stroke carb. Picked this up the other day in Lidl's. It's engine starter spray, but it's pretty much the same as carb cleaner. That is mighty cold on the fingertips. I've checked the operation of the float valve by essentially just blowing through the fuel pipe with the carb upside down. If you then tip it the other way and you find that you can't blow into it, you know the valve's working fine. What you'll find is with the engine out of this swing arm, you find it wants to fall over on its own, so you kind of got to hold it between your legs. Get the engine back in again. So at the same time, making sure all the bits and pieces don't get tangled up in the engine mounts. Right, let's bolt it all back together again. I temporarily put this one back in there just to get to line up. This is the one that had the earth strap on it. Right, it should stay up on its own now. You're bolt back together again. I'm pretty sure it's not going to start because the fuel is disgusting in it. I have to drain the tank. Judging on the colour of that petrol oil mix, I think they mixed it by eye and they didn't follow the instructions on this sticker here. I think what they were aiming for was the actual colour of the bike. I'm going to let this drain into the bottle. I'm going to leave it overnight and see if any water separates out the mixture and sits at the bottom. Right, it's the day after. Let's inspect the petrol. And sure enough, there is water in the bottom of it. See that little line of sediment there? Everything below that is water. That's because water is heavier than petrol and it sinks to the bottom. In addition to that, I'm pretty sure this petrol is stale as well because it absolutely stinks. So yeah, quite a lot of oil in it, stale petrol, water, none of which the bike will run on. So I've put fresh petrol in. Let's go see if we can start it. Right, fuel tap on. The chokers on this, it's not a good design. Okay, that's about it for today. It's just started raining. As you can see, I've also fixed the headlight on this bike. One thing I haven't taken a look at is this odometer. Now, it's got 71 kilometers on it, which is what, 45, 50 miles? And it's obvious that this bike has done a lot more than that. Particularly as all the fasteners on it seem to be quite random. None of them kind of really match. There's a mixture of stainless steel, zinc plated. There are washers to pack out where the bolts are too long. So yeah, I think someone's had this bike apart before me, and it is not kind of a genuine low mileage example compared to the Honda Camino Sport, where it is pretty much original. Anyway, with that, if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, and remember to please subscribe and click the little notification bell for more videos coming soon. Take care.